before. In case you've missed all the details, Andrew's gonna give you all the research, but remember, you just choose your size of choice. Most of us are gravitating toward the larger sizes on that 40, 120, 360, or the 720. 720, of course, being a size that we don't ordinarily do.
We do it once a year.
Once a year.
And that size, if you take 1 capsule daily, is 2 years.
Right.
No worry about potency. If you take 2 capsules daily, as I do, it lasts you 1 year. It lasts you until our event next year. And then the 2 little lines below, you could either choose the 360 of Ultimate Eye or the 720 of Ultimate Eye, and you could bundle it with astaxanthin.
Right.
And astaxanthin is another carotenoid that really, lutein and zeaxanthin address the issues associated with all of the radiation in our world, not just sunlight, but also the radiation we deal with from computer monitors, from smartphones, from studio lights, from lights in our homes. Right. LED lights give off high energy blue light. So again, when you're looking for something that helps protect us against the issues that our modern world subjects us to, then lutein and zeaxanthin are the perfect foundation. Astaxanthin is the perfect bonus ingredient to enhance their benefits. And then we'll talk a little later about our maximum L plus Z for maximum lutein plus zeaxanthin for those of you who want to boost the lutein and zeaxanthin levels even higher because your doctor might have told you you need to do so, which a lot of doctors now have finally adopted lutein and zeaxanthin. It's taken a while, and I've been talking about it for a couple of decades, so it thrills me no end that we enhanced this today's special by creating a lutein and zeaxanthin booster for those of you whose doctors have finally recognized the critical importance. And again, it's sort of fascinating that it took a while for ophthalmologists and optometrists to recognize the importance of lutein and zeaxanthin. And of course, there was the important research being done recently because every doctor that looks in your eyes, they're basically looking at lutein and zeaxanthin. When they look at the macular region of their eye and they see that light color pigmentation, they are looking at the macular pigment. They're looking at lutein and zeaxanthin. And the science, the clinical studies, is absolutely crystal clear that the only way we have that lutein and zeaxanthin back there, the only way is if we consumed it. If we do not consume lutein and zeaxanthin in our diet, we deprive our body of the ability to deposit a sufficiently dense level of lutein and zeaxanthin. And the density of that macular pigment is the degree to which it refines and improves our vision, and the degree to which it could protect our vision over the course of our lifetime, and the degree to which we get to embrace all the science and research on cognitive benefits that those of us with higher levels of lutein and zeaxanthin throughout our lifetime deposited in our eyes also have those levels deposited in our brain, and it benefits us with brain function. I mean, the research I was reading earlier, as compelling as it is on the eye, it's equally compelling on the brain.
Unbelievable. The side benefits just get better and better. And again, wildly popular, as you can only assume, because there are a lot of us like me who have been waiting for this. And I'll tell you what, when you read those reviews, I know I said this last hour, but I didn't realize what a significant difference this has made for me until you run out. And that's why we say, we don't say this lightly, it is a see the difference product. So that's why most of us are gravitating toward those larger sizes. Regardless, it's almost as good as a buy one, get one, especially when you gravitate to the larger sizes, because here's where our pricing will go and here's where our pricing is. So you can double your capsule size for basically the same cost as you would in the regular full size count. You can add the astaxanthin if you so choose. And of course, Andrew's gonna have details on that as we continue with this abbreviated presentation. But I think the big thing for a lot of us out there is it is never too early, it's never too late, but at any age. And our eyes are facing more of an onslaught, more of an attack than ever before. Yes, all of the things that happen as part of the natural aging process, but chances are your life is a lot different now than you ever envisioned it to be even 5 or 10 years ago. We're all staring at our computers, we're staring at our cell phones, we're staring at our laptop screens, the lights are brighter, you even have that blue or that LED lighting in your home, and all of that is creating that oxidative damage. And so not only is this a natural and supportive way to see a difference, but even to kind of hold that aging process and some of those changes that happen at bay. In fact, in many cases, stop it in its tracks. And I know that sounds kind of mind-altering that you have to wrap your brain around it, but that's why those of us out there who love it, and especially people like me, when you run out, that's when you really see how much of an improvement it makes. When you read the reviews, honest to goodness, no kidding, whether you're finding that eye strain or your eyes are getting tired, your eyes are getting sore, you're feeling that fatigue, you're finding that you're not focusing as quickly, because what a lot of us are doing is we're looking at a cell phone screen and then we're looking up. If you're noticing some of those visual acuity issues or changes, as we all do, why not give this a try? With a 30-day unconditional, a money-back guarantee, free shipping on any one of the sizes. Just see, quite literally, I guess pun intended, for yourself, just what an improvement this can make for you. To me, and for me, you're not gonna need that 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee, because honestly, you start taking this and you start feeling a difference immediately, or very quickly thereafter. At least was my particular case. And that's whether you are spending a lot of time on the computer or whether you're driving for a living. That's the other thing. I originally started to take this because I have lighter colored eyes, and driving at night was a real issue with regard to glare and the reflection of headlights on, on the oncoming traffic. So that's why I originally started taking this. So now that I'm getting brain benefits as well, boy, it's hard to say no to this. I mean, it really is.
We shouldn't say no to this, and by this I mean lutein and zeaxanthin. So if we're not doing this, then we need to really be focusing on what we're putting in our body in terms of our diet. As I said, what Muriel and I do, even though we take this, we still at home, and it's affordable to do, whether it's broccoli or asparagus or spinach, take your favorite spices, put some olive oil in a pan, saute it up. If it's not a cardiovascular health issues, put some butter in the pan, make it taste better. But again, the lutein and zeaxanthin, the fat from the olive oil, enhances their absorption. So the lutein and zeaxanthin in things like spinach, even pea soup, Muriel's pea soup in her cookbook, a wonderful source, her asparagus soup. These are great ways to get the lutein and zeaxanthin we need. So if we're not getting this, that this is sort of a public service announcement. Our vision, our brain requires lutein and zeaxanthin. We can't make it. It's deposited in those organs. We need it. It will protect our vision. It supports the healthiest vision over the course of our lifetime. It supports a healthy brain over the course of our lifetime. If you're not embracing a product like this that's rich in lutein and zeaxanthin, and it doesn't have to be mine, then you need to embrace it in our diet. It means that spinach, kale, collard greens, pea soup, even things like asparagus, broccoli, green leafy vegetables, that's what you got to do. It's critically important. That's what I mean. It's a public service announcement. All I'm doing is doing the advertising that produce companies never do for themselves. So if they had the advertising budgets of candy companies, we'd all be eating produce like candy.
No kidding.
But, so I just wanted to read some reviews. We haven't read very many. But excellent per my ophthalmologist. I showed this to my ophthalmologist and he said, wonderful, excellent.
Nice.
I've been using this product for a few years. I was told they had cataracts about 9 years ago, and they haven't gotten any worse over the years. I only wear glasses for reading, and I'm 76 years old. I would not go without taking this vitamin. I feel it's the right food for the eyes. I take several of Andrew's products. I appreciate the fact they are all natural and have no additives. Great product. I'm so glad I tried the Ultimate Eye Support. I showed the product to my doctor, and after reading the ingredients, he said he really liked it. I'm 74 and my eyesight has improved since taking this product.
Nice.
I take 2 capsules a day and have for the past 3 years. Thank you, Andrew, for this great product from Elaine in Pennsylvania. Great product. Each year, my eye doctor informs me my eyes have improved because of this vitamin. I take many of Andrew's vitamins and have had great success. And it's funny, we have hundreds and hundreds of reviews that talk about doctors because we go regularly, and we must go regularly to our eye doctor to have our eyes checked, our retinas looked at, our pressure taken. We must do it at least once a year. I take many of Andrew's vitamins, and I've had great success with each one. I have many friends and family now taking these vitamins as I have told them my results. Thanks, HSN and Andrew. Amazing. I can already tell that the Ultimate Eye is working, and I've only been using it for 2 weeks. I must use a computer several hours per day for work, and the eye strain was really getting to me. Each yearly eye exam was showing more deterioration. Hence, I ordered Andrew's Ultimate Eye Support. My goal was to slow the progression of the deterioration, but I know that this product is doing more than that. I'm farsighted and my eyesight is clearer without my glasses on. I'm now able to read small print on the television screen without my glasses.
Wow.
That used to be blurry. I'm happily amazed. Farewell to dry eyes. I've been suffering with dry eyes, Shannon was talking about this earlier, for a number of years. I constantly use drops, ointment, and have even gone on that new prescription that produces tears, all without success. Since taking the Ultimate Eye Support, just 1 capsule a day, I'm a new person. I felt the difference quickly and have already ordered another bottle. Thank you, Andrew. Again, omega-3 oils,
yes.
Another great product for dry eyes. More than I expected. My eyes are dry and burn all the time. They were also always so red. I noticed within 2 to 3 days that the burning and redness was gone. I haven't been able to read a book in so many years. The burning and blurry vision made it impossible to read more than for about 5 minutes. I also wear glasses. I'm now able to read many pages at a time. I was taking this for eye health since I'm an older person. I never expected these kinds of outstanding results in so short a time. Thank you, Andrew, for such a wonderful product. Many of us think it's just long-term benefits.
You're right.
But this has, as the research says, short-term benefits. Who turned on the focus? I purchased these months ago, and honestly, I'd been taking so many different Andrew Lessman supplements, I was not being consistent with these at all. So I put some aside and started taking these daily. To my surprise, after 2 weeks, I do experience clearer vision. That is good news, as I love to read. I also want to add that the difference is minor, but this difference is without my reading glasses.
Nice.
Andrew's is the best. Thank you, Andrew, for making such a wonderful product. I take only 1 capsule per day, and it is helping my vision. I can watch television without my glasses, so I'd call that working for me. I take his glucosamine 1500 and chondroitin 1200, an essential one as well. Thank you, HSN, for the value and the flex pays. From Susan in West Virginia. Impressed. I purchased a bottle of 60 capsules to give these a try. After taking 3/4 of the capsules, my floaters are completely gone. I'm truly impressed. I'll carry on taking these because eye issues run in my family, and I hope I'll be spared. Again, floaters, omega-3s, lutein and zeaxanthin, these are the structure of your retina.
Right.
Floaters are not a disease state or anything like that, and you should, of course, get them checked out by your optometrist or ophthalmologist. But again, giving your body what it needs to take care and support the structure of your retina, which is omega-3, DHA, and lutein and zeaxanthin, can't hurt.
True.
Tired eyes get relief. Although a grown young man, my younger son is an electronic junkie. He's always on some kind of device. I purchased this product to take for myself because I work on a computer for a living. My son caught on to me taking this and started taking Ultimate Eye Support every day. Needless to say, as the supply started running low, my son started to panic and wanted me to order more. I didn't read this. I asked him if he really noticed that big of a difference, and he stated yes. He felt more focused on some of his gaming sites. Again, the brain benefits.
Right.
I noticed his eyes didn't look as tired as they were and less red, looking from working on devices all the time. I myself feel my eyes are not as tired as they would be if I didn't take it. If you do a lot of computer or phone type work, I would recommend this product. It helps the tired eye feel and look. Kathy in Idaho.
Oh, I love that. I mean, but don't you? I mean, I think we're raising a whole generation of people who maybe even need this more than we do, if that's possible. So I guess the whole thing is there is something you can do. And again, I don't think you're going to need that 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee, but you have it anyway.
And it applies to whatever size you get.
Right.
And it applies to the bundles as well. So whether you're choosing any one of the 4 sizes of Ultimate Eye, or the 2 bundles where you save the most with astaxanthin,
yes.
or even if you decide to just get astaxanthin on its own. And astaxanthin, I could spend an hour talking about astaxanthin and its benefits to the eyes, because when we talk about computer use and whether it's going to be computer monitors or the handheld devices we use, astaxanthin is at the top of the list in terms of providing that protection, in terms of accommodation. And where lutein, zeaxanthin, astaxanthin, where they really show their difference, not just the clarity of vision, not just helping us deal with glare and bright lights, and again, in the summer, glare, it's downright dangerous when we drive dealing with glare, whether it's at sunrise or at sunset. You could totally be blinded by glare. Lutein and zeaxanthin are our natural defense against glare and photostress and recovering from what they call photostress. So lutein, zeaxanthin, astaxanthin, these are the tools that if we deliver them, our body will utilize to protect our vision and protect us against the rigors of modern life, which is stressful for our eyes. Even at our homes now, all the LEDs, we talk about LED monitors and the blue light from LED monitors. Guess what? The lights in our homes are what?
Yeah.
They're LED lights. So they're giving off blue light as well. So as long as we're not wearing sunglasses in our homes to protect us from blue light, and sunglasses when we're using our computer monitors and handheld devices, we might as well have the sunglasses in our body, which is exactly how some of the research, science, and clinical studies discuss lutein, zeaxanthin, and astaxanthin. It's like internal sunglasses. And those are the best designed sunglasses of all.
Absolutely. And so again, this is a way to help Mother Nature out. Now, certainly you can eat to help support some of these levels, but you're just not getting them. I mean, we aren't even getting them even in our healthiest of diets. By the way, speaking of cooking and eating, Miss Muriel is going to be joining me in the kitchen in about 15 minutes or so, and she has some fantastic ideas to partner with some of your Andrew Lessman favorites like mine, including Choco Nouveau and Secure Soy. So I hope you can stay with us because that's a special little segment. Muriel did me kind of the birthday favor of spending some time with you in the kitchen in about 15 minutes. But in the meantime, I know this is abbreviated in one of your last airings of our finest value of the day. It is something that we wait for. When you read those reviews, and I'm so glad that Andrew shared those with you, they read like love letters. And no kidding, I think for those of us out there who value that gift of the God-given aspect of sight, we want to do everything that we can in a protective aspect. And we all know who we are. Whether it is a computer or a cell phone or a tablet or the lights in your home or just part of the aging process, if your eyes are dry, if your eyes are red, if your eyes are sore, if your eyes are tired, if you're starting to notice some of those significant and profound changes, as we all are, because it's part of the aging process, isn't it nice to know that this can be your front line of defense? And that's the thing that's so interesting about those reviews. I love that last one where it's a mother and son. I mean, so we're talking of all ages. In fact, we're raising a whole new generation of people of young men and women who are putting even a more significant strain on their eyes. So today and today only, in every size of choice, doing significant savings. If there was ever a day to try this, and yes, I know we keep saying, and it is not to be tongue-in-cheek, a see the difference product. And I really want you to wrap your brain around that. You'll save money on any one of the sizes from the 40, the 120, or the 360. 720 is a size that Andrew only does for today. Pretty much a buy one, get one, especially when you look at the bigger sizes. And then, of course, even bigger savings if you choose to bundle it with the astaxanthin.
And it's worth the experience. I think even if we all think that our vision is fine, that, and something we read in the reviews all the time, that we generally expect as we get older that our vision's going to deteriorate a little, but if we could still see and it doesn't interfere with our life, okay, that's fine. But so many of the reviews, the doctors are raving about the product. The individual didn't expect that they could make a difference and actually stem the tide, either reverse the changes or reduce the changes that are part of what we experience and we're aging. And again, this is not a drug or a medicine. We're not talking about disease-related changes. We're talking about the normal age-related changes that we all will struggle with and suffer from. And to the extent our eyes and our vision sort of communicates with us and makes us aware of the changes, that's the extent to which we need to listen and respond. As I said before, it can be as simple as making sure that every morning you have a bowl of dark purple berries, blueberries, blackberries. It can be as simple as making sure you have a bowl of pea soup or whatever it might be, some sauteed spinach every single day, because when it comes to our eyes, these ingredients are actually critical components in the eye and how the eye functions on a daily basis, the quality of our vision, the ability to deal with eye stress. And eye stress is either bright light, dark light. Eye stress is blue light, looking at monitors. These are things that lutein and zeaxanthin have been shown, and astaxanthin shown, to protect us from. But I was going to read some science here. This is from the Journal of the International Neuropsychological Society. Lutein and zeaxanthin may also benefit neurocognitive function through their positive effects on cell membrane fluidity, permeability, stability, thickness, and ion exchange. I've already read reviews that talked about absolutely there's an association between lutein and zeaxanthin levels in the brain, in the eye, and retention of cognitive function as we age. Lutein and zeaxanthin supplementation significantly influence brain function on a verbal learning task relative to placebo. Lutein and zeaxanthin supplementation appears to benefit neurocognitive function by enhancing cerebral perfusion, even if consumed for a discrete period of time in late life, meaning even if very late in life it's taken only for a short period of time. Similarly, greater intake of vegetables containing lutein and zeaxanthin has been longitudinally associated with slower rates of cognitive decline in older adults.
Wow.
So again, to the extent we consume lutein and zeaxanthin in our diet, it helps us stem the tide of those changes we're all trying to avoid.
Right.
Archives of Clinical Neuropsychology, both macular pigment optical density, that's the density of how lutein and zeaxanthin have been deposited in the eye, show a positive relationship to various cognitive functions, including global cognition, verbal fluency, language, memory, visual, spatial, constructional abilities, executive functioning, processing speed, and reaction time. In other words, the lutein and zeaxanthin that we have in our eyes will be higher levels in our brain, and it affects virtually every measure of function in our brain.
And like you said, Andrew, though, but that's what makes somebody young at heart, or that's
right.
what, you know.
How our brain functions.
How your brain functions.
So, and now we'll get back to the eye here. The potential for damage from blue light in the retina has been met with favorable adaptation in the eye. So our eyes have adapted over the years to protect us from blue light, and that's blue light and sunlight. A diet-derived blue-absorbing pigment composed of the dietary carotenoids, lutein and zeaxanthin. That's what they do. Because of its yellow-orange pigmentation and its location anterior to the photoreceptors, macular pigment also acts as a blue light filter that protects against photooxidation of the vulnerable lipid-rich photoreceptor outer segments. But again, one thing we have to be aware of, and I'll go back in a second, is that when it comes to our handheld devices, we could put on a blue light filter. We can go to the display option and we could put a blue light filter on. Or we could have a screen cover that's a blue light filter. When it comes to the blue light in our homes and all around us, in our offices, that the blue light is being emitted by these new LED fixtures, we're not wearing sunglasses, and by TVs and the like. So again, the only option becomes the wonderful God-given sunglasses that we all have if we consume adequate amounts of carotenoids in our diet. Unfortunately, the American diet does not. We are exceedingly low in lutein, we are horribly low in zeaxanthin, and we are horribly deficient in astaxanthin. And these are the three most important carotenoids. And again, it's as simple as a significant change to your diet. Even with Ultimate Eye, simply having 1 capsule a day, as I said before, having 2 capsules a week will more than double your levels of lutein. More than double, and probably triple, quadruple, maybe even tenfold the levels of zeaxanthin. So at 1 capsule a day of Ultimate Eye, even at 1 capsule a day of our maximum lutein plus zeaxanthin on top of that, you have the ultimate protection for your eyes.
Isn't it nice so that there's something that you can do? I mean, seriously, isn't it great to know that there is something that you can do to support that good eye health at any stage of the game? And that's the thing that's really exciting about this. You're not going to need that 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee to really see a difference for yourself. This savings, however, is for today and today only. So just keep that in mind, especially if you are new to HSN and you are experiencing some of those changes for yourself. You know, eye strain, your eyes are sore, they're red, they're tired. I mean, you know you're staring at a computer screen, whatever it might be. This is absolutely the best day to take advantage of the kind of savings that we're doing today. So remember the 40, 120, 360, or 720. Most of us are gravitating toward that larger size for a lot of reasons. I mean, not only because it's pretty much a buy one, get one free in terms of the savings, but this is something that you're gonna take every day. And maybe you're gonna be like one of those reviewers. And I do encourage you to read those reviews, but you might find that the other people in your family, maybe it's your kids, maybe they are playing the video games. Don't be surprised if you see that quantity start to dwindle, because I think everybody appreciates just just how hard our eyes are working, Andrew.
And the other thing, and reading some of the studies on this, when we use these computer monitors and things like that, we don't engage in sort of normal blinking.
Right.
We tend to stare at the devices. It affects the circulation in our eyes, which affects how well our eyes are nourished and how much oxygen and nutrients they're getting, waste products carried away. So what we do bears no reasonable resemblance to what this body of ours was designed to do. The way we have changed our universe and planet around us in just a matter of a few decades, not even centuries, but a matter of a few decades, it's just challenging these incredible systems in our body to adapt. And our systems, we do have the capacity to adapt. But unfortunately, all of the challenges we have in our eye, when you combine that with the way our diet has also changed, and again, when you just think of a human being a few hundred years ago, basically a few hundred years ago, most of us didn't even have access to books.
Right.
You know, even before the printing press, we heard about things because someone told us. So most of the time, unless we were cooking or doing some work, we were off looking in space. We didn't spend most of our waking hours staring at something 12 to 18 inches away from our eyes. And that's emitting radiation that damages our eyes. So when we think about what we do and the way we live, we best change our diet, or we need to do some kind of simple supplementation. Again, it doesn't have to be my product. I believe we make, it's a pure additive-free formula. We make the best eye formula you're going to find with our Ultimate Eye. When you now consider our maximum lutein plus zeaxanthin, the available of our separate astaxanthin, all three at today's special pricing, there's no better way to figure out a regimen that works for you and works for your eyes. But most importantly, if I accomplish something today, it underscores that you have the ability to make a difference in the health of your eye and the health of your eyes and the health of your brain by simply changing your intake of dark green leafy vegetables. That the research on lutein and zeaxanthin and eye health and brain health and how available they are in certain foods and even frozen vegetables. You don't have to get fresh spinach. Frozen vegetables and frozen fruits are well established to deliver the nutrient benefits. So those blueberries, that's usually what we use in smoothies, or frozen blueberries or frozen blackberries or raspberries, strawberries. Frozen spinach, frozen broccoli, frozen asparagus. It's all great, sauteed up with a little bit of olive oil and a little bit of, say garlic. It's delicious, and it's a gift to your vision. And I would hope everyone would eat in such a way that it minimizes the critical, just essential importance of this product. And that's why I've tried to emphasize that today.
Absolutely. And I know you've been learning something. Remember, there is no other eye product like this. I know it's a great education as well, and certainly knowledge is power. But if you want really the world's finest vitamins, the Andrew Lessman difference, and you want it for the best price that we are honoring for today and today only, absolutely.
Yeah, and that's the savings on all four sides of Ultimate